Yeah, there's this is going to be a phenomenal day. I'm super excited to see how this plays out, especially because this is what it comes down to. This last match here, and 20 rupees in the first chest.
Nice. All right, they are off.
So yeah, these players are going to be looking to take some gambles in order to secure their place. So looks like we have some standard routing from everyone going for the tree pull here. Ooh.
Just magic. But magic can be good this early.
Especially if you happen to pick up Fire Rod or something in one of these. Or Fire Rod or Ice Rod.
Or Cane.
Yep.
Oh, another 20 in the red boom. And just in the escape portion here.
This is a very red seed so far. And Jet picking up a prize pack bomb. At least getting that one bomb is really nice.
Yeah, before they start making their way over to all the bombable areas in Kakariko. Right, so we'll see what's in Sanctuary.
A piece of heart. All right, so looks like every player is doing the exact same
thing. Yeah.
So we have some sync going on between eLmaGus and Jet here.
A triple high five.
Little bit different path over here. One going to the Lumberjack Cave, the other one going into Lost Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I haven't really seen, I mean, for the most part, this is pretty standard routing. I mean, I've only seen a few different diversions or different varieties of this beginning, let's get all the Light World areas checked, and but this tends to be the favorite. It looks like Silver's on Lumberjack.
Yeah. I don't think any player is going to be looking to defeat Aghanim for those silver arrows, so we could see some silverless strat later. But depending upon if they do happen to need Aghanim access for Dark World access, or sorry, if they need to defeat Aghanim for Dark World access, they might end up picking those up along the way.
Yeah, if it happens to be in the route. But they certainly won't go out of their way, just like you said.
So still a very red seed. I'm getting some heart containers and some red rupees. Ooh, I love the palette changes on these sprites. For the NPC in the Lost Woods.
Yeah, that one, it tends to be the Lost Woods NPC, the old lady in front of the chicken house, and there's another one, maybe the running guy in Kakariko.
Oh yes, as well as the maiden in Blind Town.
Oh yeah,
in Thieves Town. There we go.
Thieves Town. Yeah, I knew what you were saying.
Some more heart containers so far. All right, so first big room check here. We're hoping for something good.
Mm-hmm. And eLmaGus going ahead and just buying 10 bombs.
So far, not so great.
And no, just only the winner of this three-way race will move on. There's no, just one person advances, I should say. There's already been a determined winner for this group.
And eLmaGus picking up a book. Link can now read.
Literacy. So early. Such a smart decision.
And we get our map check, and it looks like crystals 5 and 6 are Desert and Tower of Hera.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah, and red pendant for Eastern Palace. So all the red crystal, all the red is in the Light World. Wow, this really is a red seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's feeling the holiday spirit,
Yeah, we got red and green. Green mail, green book. And everything else is red. Oh, swindled by the bottle vendor.
Yeah, just terrible.
20 rupees. So everyone else is basically cleaning up Kakariko here.
Yeah.
Then we might see a little bit of route divergence from these players.
Yeah, probably we'll go down south of Kakariko to check the library and the race game, but then they'll be moving on from this area. But yeah, it could be a fast seed with those two like crystals being in the light world. I mean, still need lots of weapons.
So Jet going into the shop here to buy his bombs. All right, so looks like we're getting our library check here. Ooh!
Oh man!
Or potentially the Titan's mids,
could be
depending
Titan's mid, yeah. A glove upgrade for sure. Wow.
Oh! Well, it's definitely gonna be the Titan's mid now.
Wow. Unreal.
Well, that's actually really nice because that means that they're gonna have to get boots before either before anything that requires Titan's mitts. So a lot in this world requires Titan's mitts.
But it's really good to know where they are already. It's just such a terrible thing when you need them and you're just getting constantly blocked off over and over and over again because you don't have the mitts and you just don't know where they are. But having that intel is really nice early.
And we're gonna get our save and quit from both these players here. Going to Link's house for eLmaGus, Sanctuary for Jet. Could potentially be setting up for the Houlihan room.
Yeah, I would think maybe behind the back of Escape is what he's thinking.
That too, yep, absolutely.
While eLmaGus looks like he's making his way to Sriracha.
And looks like Makinx is also heading over here to Sanctuary.
And there's nothing back there.
So Hashula's house has been known to have some good items. So let's see what we got. Just a heart piece, 50 rupees, and nothing. Wow, this seed.
Pretty much the same thing Jet got from going to the back of Escape. So we'll get to see what he's doing here, what he's going to get at the dam. Two items here.
Yeah, and eLmaGus is heading actually into Eastern Palace.
Definitely a good move with Eastern being pendant.
Absolutely. Eastern actually has a fairly high chance to have an item in it as well, so...
Exactly, just because it's not blocked off by anything. So, I mean, you pretty much always have to dip Eastern.
Now, this could be an interesting thing if, let's say, Mini Moldorm has the bow and a lamp or something, or even the dam has one of those items, because then it could make it so that Eastern is already completable.
Right. And just a shield from for Jet there, and he's going to be heading over to the Mini Moldorm cave that's down here in South Hyrule. Curious to see what eLmaGus finds in Eastern.
So we have the bomb strats for the Mini Moldorms. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. 1 down, 3 to go.
All about timing with bombs.
Oh, very nice double kill. Oh, and the boots in Eastern!
He's gonna go ahead and get that mid. Oh, wow. I hope he finishes up a few more chests here. But wow, the value.
What are those? So we have 3 items in Eastern Palace that we can get. The first chest was a compass, so there's still 2 items. They're guaranteed to... Ooh, my goodness! All the movement!
God.
Wow!
Oh my god, eLmaGus just took a pretty large lead here by going Eastern early. Holy moly.
Yeah, getting those boots and the flute early is going to be great for him.
He is on the move.
So we have eLmaGus making the sequence break for the key in the dark room here, which will lead him to one more chest, which should have the big key.
And he's using a little bit of like buffering with the boots just to see where his position is. That's a good idea if you don't have a sword to lead you, or any kind of weapon really. Otherwise, you're just kind of bumping around. You could also use the boomerang. So there's the big key, and that'll allow him to check that last chest. But otherwise, he'll be leaving.
Jet making the play for Sahashila's house here, so hopefully he takes that dip into Eastern as well.
And Makinx is really just kind of following up right exactly what Jet is doing. He's just a few steps behind.
Well, all players pretty much have the rupees required for the remainder of the seed. There's not much else that they need.
And yeah, it looks like that eLmaGus got the last item in Eastern, so he won't need to beat Armos for an item later.
Nope, no going back in unless pedestal required. Interestingly enough, depending upon their routing, they could have, if they would have instead gone from Link's house and come up Kakariko, they could have actually checked the pedestal while they were in Lost Woods. But we won't know. We won't know for a while.
eLmaGus activating that flute. Everybody, get your ducks out. And Jet is about to get his boots.
So interestingly, okay, so eLmaGus is going to Bonk Rock. There we go. I thought he was going to Death Bend. I was like, wait a second, you have the flute. Ooh, just a bomb inventory upgrade.
Mm-hmm. And he has not grabbed his mitts yet, so maybe he's going to do that now, or maybe just... No. Maybe he is going to Death Mountain. I'm surprised he would do that.
I don't think he checked the Lumberjack
okay.
cave, so he might be going to go check it now.
That's right, we did see that from Jet and Makinx while eLmaGus went directly into the Lost Woods.
So we are fluting probably to Death Mountain here. It's one of the better... Oh, no, Kakariko. Death Mountain, at the moment, not much they can check on it, especially because they don't have... Yeah, they don't have the... either the mirror or the hook shot in order to access anything really up there. So... But there's a lot of things that they have, but not a lot that really gets them, like, breaks the seed wide open.
Right. I'm thinking right now maybe either the hammer or the moon pearl would be maybe in desert.
Yeah, desert is definitely an option, and then there's only one item at the moment, unless like they've sequence break for the old man. There's really only one item on Death Mountain. So we gotta find something here. There's also Agina's cave, which they haven't checked, as well as the desert ledge. So question in chat, does one advance in this tiebreaker or two? This is a tiebreaker for second place. So only one of these players will advance.
So Jet looks like he's just left Eastern. He will probably go to activate the flute. Maybe also check Bonk Rocks, as we just saw. Only had, what, a piece of heart, maybe?
Bomb upgrade, I think it was.
Yeah. Nothing particularly useful at this moment.
And interestingly enough, by checking these, you're going to have to come back later to check the King's Tomb, because you're able now to pick up the...
Right.
You're able now to pick up the Titan's Mitts. So, 2 trips back. So it's pretty much Makinx grabbing his last item. We'll probably go to activate the flute as well. Seems to be the standard route for today. And eLmaGus just cleaning up the rest of what everyone else has done. So they're all pretty much on the same pace here. eLmaGus having the advantage of having the Titan's Mitts already.
Right. And I would say maybe Makinx is just a little bit behind. Maybe did a little weird routing at the beginning in Kakariko to check all those areas. But otherwise, they seem to be pretty neck and neck here.
Yep. So eLmaGus saving and quitting to Sanctuary to get the King's Tomb item, which is just 20 rupees.
Big 20.
Jet grabbing his Titan's Mitts. Let's see where this leads him. Ooh, it leads him to desert. So what's on the ledge? A heart container. Interesting enough, he's going in without checking Agina's cave. And if Agina's cave has something like a fire source in it, then
it could make him double dip there.
Yep, especially if there's a weapon of some kind in this dungeon. It's nice to come back here if you don't have a weapon this early on. It's nice to come back later, because it's a dungeon that's fairly easy to access the later part if you have the mirror, because they already have the flute and Titan's Mitts. So,
right. And if they happen to find like mirror before Pearl, I mean the Pearl could be even in like Checkerboard Cave. It could be on Pyramid. I mean,
exactly. So we're getting an Agina cave check by eLmaGus, while we're getting the bomb strats over here by Jet. Unfortunately, just grabbing a compass out of that chest. So there's 2 items in desert. And by the way, eLmaGus picked up a sword in Agina's cave.
Wow. So really, that was definitely the move to make here.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll also help speed up his routing in here. Instead of having to use bombs for those rooms, he's going to be able to just... Ooh, that's not a good thing to find.
So that almost looks like to be maybe a setup. Well, I mean, it could be that something's on Bumper Ledge. Could be that, like...
It could even be that Moon Pearl is
on. There it is,
right there. Yeah, it could be that Moon Pearl is in the big chest in desert, guys.
So really, desert was just baiting us a little bit. Desert wanted us to, you know, be a little scared for a moment, like, oh no. But there it is. There's their Dark World access. No Aghanim for the time being, unless they really want that silvers.
So we're getting a heart container on Jet's screen. eLmaGus making the play into Hyrule Castle, while Makinx is grabbing his desert items. He has the sword already from checking Agina's cave, and I wonder if Jet's going to be kicking himself in the butt a little bit here because of not checking this earlier.
But eLmaGus looks like he saved and quit. He did not check the rest of desert because he didn't go into desert at all.
Nah, I think he's kind of waiting for a fire source and maybe something a little bit more stronger to beat the boss.
Yikes.
So, it's not a bad play because most players are going to go and check Hyrule Castle anyways. So, I assume that most of these runners will probably head in there at some point. But with Dark World access that we have right now, it could be a while before any of them even decide to dip in there.
Exactly. And Zelda Cell only having another big 20. But nope, just going right for it right now. He said, let's go Dark World.
Yep, absolutely. I definitely agree with this play. We're getting a Dark World check, so we have a green pendant at Skullwoods and blue pendant at Ice Palace.
Oh dear.
The rest are all crystals. That means we need potentially 2 medallions for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Luckily, they already have the flute, so that's another big an item that tends to, prevent a lot of players from getting to go mode is that horrible search for the flute that's, in Turtle Rock usually.
Yep, Turtle Rock's been known, even when a pendant dungeon, to have some good items. So, Jet making the play into Skullwood.
Into Skull, yeah.
eLmaGus doing the old man on the mountain here.
Just a little bit of love. Not even a little bit.
Ooh!
Fire source.
There's our first fire source. The lamp. Actually, that's a very nice one to find, too. So now eLmaGus is going to be getting the items from Desert here. And I think that Makinx might be really quickly forgetting, yeah, there we go, that he doesn't have a fire source. Oops.
And we'll see here. Oh, Jet still hasn't found an item other than, well, there's only 2 items in Skullwoods, but
yep.
I'll be surprised if he finds the other one.
Yeah, at this point, unless there's something in the big chest, there's not really much that he can access at this point in Skullwoods without the fire rod.
Now, eLmaGus looks like he realized, okay, all I've got left to really check is Desert itself, so he's gonna get his Moon Pearl soon, if he hasn't yet already.
So we're about to see a bumper cave check here. We did get the cape early, so potential for good item. Potential for rupees. These murder dactyls actually hurt so bad when you're wearing green mail.
Only green. That's what, 3 hearts? 2?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Especially with this low of health. I mean, they're only sitting at 8 hearts right now. Kind of low for Randomizer.
So it looks like we need Quake Medallion for Misery Mire. And nothing. We got a bottle in the mini Mire cave here for Makinx, so we might see a Sick Kid check.
So Jet's opting to do the Village of Outcasts probably before maybe hopping into Thieves Town.
I don't know if he's gonna go into Thieves Town without the hammer.
Yeah.
Going in with boots, it's very nice because you're able to dash through a lot of the enemies. But if you have to make that dip back in there without the hammer, or with the hammer later,
but the kid, they did find the hammer. The kid had it.
Then
the kid had it.
Makinx making the right play, going to Misery Mire.
Yeah. Wow.
So, bottle at Misery... sorry.
I'm sorry, go on.
I was going to say bottle at the mini Mire cave led to hammer, which will allow at least Makinx into Thieves Town reliably without having to come back. It's the only item you need for Thieves Town. So far, not a lot.
Not much in Thieves. Wow.
So basically all the dungeon items.
Everything is in the back. Oh, wow. Jet's gonna be pretty sad when he finds that that hammer at the Sick Kid.
Yeah. Because that means there's an item in that chest. And that could be interesting later on, depending upon what that is. So we have eLmaGus, who's in Skullwoods, and then both Makinx and Jet in Thieves Town. So eLmaGus has picked up his lamp, but realizes that's going to be the only thing he's going to get out of here for now until he gets the fire rod. It is required, so we will be seeing them later. Go check. Or no, sorry, it's not required because it's a green pendant.
Right, but it could. I mean, they might have to get that green pendant for something, just maybe, or just to get that extra third item out of Skullwoods. But I mean, and hopefully it's just that and not the whole entire, you know, pendant collection to get to the pedestal.
And we found a single arrow, the most important arrow in the game, in Thieves Town. The one and only. So I'm thinking that eLmaGus will probably at this point make the trip into Thieves Town as well, without the hammer. And this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this might actually, and Makinx was kind of a bit behind, but it looks like he's catching up pretty quick here with that hammer. I mean,
yeah, he still hasn't dipped into Skullwoods yet, so no lamp, but with the hammer, if there is something in this big chest, it could play a huge role. So it looks like actually eLmaGus is maybe going to do the digging game and a few other overworld stuff before hopping into Thieves Town, which is good when you don't have the hammer, and it could be required. As Jet goes into the blind fight, blind only needs 3 hits per phase with any weapon. So fighter sword, not a big deal for blind.
Just a matter of just, you know, avoiding and moving around with some skill. But even the core of it, so we're all good here.
And getting powder.
And meanwhile, Makinx is coming up to that big chest, so moment of truth.
Yep. As we get the Froggy World Tour on eLmaGus' side. What do you think is going to be in the chest?
I don't know. I really hope it's something like Fire Rod. Or maybe the Hookshot. Hookshot would be a good find there.
Yeah, I definitely hope it's something that's a progression item.
Yeah. And then it would just be very interesting to see how long it takes Jet and eLmaGus to get.
Oh my god! It's the mirror!
Even better. It's the mirror. Alright, so that just pushed Makinx ahead. Woo! Wow. So he's gonna get probably maybe make his way up to Skullwoods, but oh my gosh, wow, what an item.
Shot in Hype Cave. Oh, and Quake! That's the access to Misery Mire. Oh my god. That is huge for Makinx, who was behind previously, but I don't think that these players are going to go back to Thieves Town for a long time.
Right, and just so everyone knows, if the bottle that Makinx found was in Mire Shed, wasn't it?
Yes.
And in the Mire Shed. So he actually fluted there first before going to the Dark World via the Kakariko portal, I guess. While eLmaGus and Jet decided to go straight to Kakariko to get to the Dark World. So him going out of his way there really paid off.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Unreal. What a good seed.
So it looks like eLmaGus is going to be grabbing his bottle fairly soon as Jet picks up his Quake Medallion and his Hookshot here.
What's interesting is that maybe now Makinx is thinking he doesn't have to go up to Skullwoods right away, so he might be missing out on that lantern and having to do a few more things in the dark compared to our other 2 players here.
So eLmaGus, having all the necessary required items to get into Misery Mire, is opting to just hop right in. There is 2 items in here. He can't complete it because he doesn't have the Cane of Samaria. But at least getting what's inside, not a bad idea.
Doing Mire with only 2 items it is definitely more of a tedious dungeon to do for those 2 items. I mean, you've really got to make a few loop arounds to get every single chest, and this will be interesting if it does pay off for him.
Makin is trying to do the peg dash. Missed it a couple times there, but seems to have it down now. And what's in Peg Caves? Just bomb. He was the only one who had hammer by the time he came here, so...
This also gives Makinx the access to go up to Hera and make his way over to the east side of Death Mountain. And then later on do Darkhold Death Mountain. Wow, vanilla, almost vanilla cane, unreal.
Oh my god. Well, that is actually really good for him because that means that he can actually beat the dungeon. Will he, though, with Fighter Sword, or will he opt to leave? He does have 6 bombs. Bombs do make it a little bit easier, but it is just 6, so...
Yeah, it will be difficult to kill Vitreous with Green Mail and Fighter Sword and no bow. I mean, you've really got to be playing very skillfully for that fight.
So we got Blue Mail here on Death Mountain, East Death Mountain.
Makinx making his way down with the purple chest. So I'm guessing, did you see what happened to see what the breathsmiths have? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was a shield.
Oh, okay.
But a Master Sword from that cave.
Awesome. Sword upgrade is definitely welcomed at this point.
Especially because the dungeons that are required, they do need a Master Sword to defeat Ganon at least, and second item in Misery Mire is just a heart piece. So looks like we are gonna nope out of there and come back later when we have a better sword.
That's a good idea from eLmaGus, especially since he can just quickly make his way back to Vitreous.
Doing some nice dodges from those cabbages. Sky cabbage here.
Alright, Makinx about to get his hookshot from Hype Cave. And what was it? Ether or Bombos? No, it was Quake. Quake for my.
Yep.
It's one of them.
It's the Quack Medallion. So now we have Dark Death Mountain. And interestingly enough, when Makinx heads up here and does this, he'll be able to mirror back and forth.
Right.
Between Dark and Light World. So could make things a little faster, as well as will give him access to more chests because he can also access what's going to be on the Ether Medallion as well as the Tower of Hera items because of having the hammer.
Exactly. And that, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, eLmaGus and Jet will probably just have to, we'll only be able to check like, okay, here's what Turtle Rock is, and just we'll have to leave. I guess eLmaGus could go into Turtle Rock if you really wanted to. No, he doesn't have the hammer. Excuse me. I'm done.
And I did not get a chance to see what medallion Turtle Rock was. It kind of
skipped frames there. Yeah, I missed it too.
Oh, Quake. I saw it on the other side.
Nice.
Okay, so it's Quake.
Double Quake.
And there's our other bottle here. Wow, and red mail.
Very close. I really like how that Samus sprite just changed drastically.
Yeah,
red mail. That was
completely different
crazy.
hair and everything.
That was awesome.
So, for those of you who are just joining us, currently what these players are looking for, eLmaGus and Jet are both missing the mirror and the hammer. Mirror, which is at the big chest in Thieves Town, and hammer, which is the sick kid has. So they have the ability to access it, they just have to actually go get it.
Jet about to get another bottle. Hopefully that's enough hints to go check sick kid.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, it's like, here's a bottle and another one. Interestingly enough, none of these players have fake flippered.
No. Well, they didn't have the pearl very early. So fake flippering would have only gotten them to see what's on Hylia Island and on Hobo.
Tempered sword, by the way, guys, for both Jet and eLmaGus. So Light World East Death Mountain had the Master Sword, and the Dark Death Mountain had the Tempered Sword.
Right.
We are having some
Whoa, check it out. Lecactuar.
Oh my god.
50,000 bits. Holy moly. Lecactuar, thank you so much for your generous contribution to speed gaming. Everybody give Lecactuar some love in the chat. Holy moly. Looks like we're missing Jet a little bit. I'm not sure if his stream has dropped.
Minor technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. We've lost audio as well. Okay, so Willer's working on it, okay?
Yep. Alright, and we're about to see what is in the Ether Tablet, which currently is just 50 rupees. But we now have access to Tower of Hera, so could see what's in here. eLmaGus picking up 20 rupees inside Hyrule Castle. Still, I think the only one who's actually been in Hyrule Castle.
Right. So he went to the sewer area? Where did he go?
Yes, he went through the sewers to get the last chest.
Okay. Yeah, and we haven't seen Jet or Makinx even go to Zelda's cell. And eLmaGus getting his hammer.
Yep. And it's at this point you wonder how much they're mentally keeping track of where they have gotten specific items. Because, you know, knowing that, hey, I could have gone to Misery Mire before going into Thieves Town, I wonder if that's kind of like, oh man, I wish I would have had this earlier.
Right. But really, all three of our runners here are pretty neck and neck. I mean...
Oh, eLmaGus had not gone into Thieves Town. He was still looking for the hammer.
And it looks like eLmaGus is going directly back to that chest that he missed in Thieves.
Well, eLmaGus actually hasn't been in Thieves at all.
That's right. He's totally skipped. You're right. That's right. He's getting those chests right now, and I'm like watching him do that, and I'm thinking that he skipped over the chest, and I'm just not thinking about it. Okay, commentating 3 different people is harder than it looks. Okay.
So, and because Makinx has the mirror and hammer, is able to make his routing on Death Mountain a little bit better than Jet, who's had to come up here multiple times. So just bombs in the big chest here.
Yeah. So they really haven't found any items in Hera. And Hera is a good crystal, so it will be one of the crystals that will allow them to open up the Pyramid Fairies 2 chests.
Yeah, interestingly enough, they have the ability to complete the other one too, Desert Palace.
Except for Makinx, who does not have the lantern from Skull.
That's correct. Ooh, Trollstorm giving a shovel.
Why did Makinx leave? What just happened? Didn't have a fire source to go downstairs. Oh, that's right. That's exactly what I was just saying, that he doesn't have the lantern to even finish Desert. Same problem here, how the big key was in the Hera basement.
That's unfortunate. So about that not having to come up here twice, I take all of that back.
Wow, so that just set back Makinx, unfortunately, a little bit. So he's thinking, oh man, where could a fire source be? Jet is checking out the Spike Cave for us. Playing it safe.
And finding a heart piece. eLmaGus is about to pick up his mirror, which Jet is currently missing.
Wow, this game is, this race is pretty close. I mean,
yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how long it takes Jet to go back to Thieves Town and how quickly eLmaGus can get to go mode, because at this point, with that Cane of Samaria being in Misery Mire, it's probably the worst place.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to go into a dungeon if they don't have the items required to beat it.
Right, and that's just, unfortunately, I mean, kind of a weird mentality people kind of get into, like, if I can't do the dungeon, I shouldn't go into it, when the item can be in there. It is Randomizer, after all. So, I mean, I totally get it, and I'm totally guilty of doing it all the time, being like, oh, I don't want to go into, you know, into Desert, for example, because I don't have a lantern. Well, the lantern definitely can be there.
Yep. And it is paying off for eLmaGus, though. For Thieves Town, he did not go in here without the hammer, and, you know, now he's got the mirror because of it. So...
Right. Makinx finally getting his lantern, speaking of which. So it is good that he thought of it. Thought about the good old skull play, even though it's a pendant.
So what do we need for go mode? We need bow, flippers, ice rod, fire rod.
Yeah, both rods. Yeah, and the bow. Maybe. No, that's it. Because we know both medallions already. Do they need flippers?
They need flippers for swamp.
Yep. So yeah.
And because Ice Palace is a crystal. I think blue crystal, or yeah, because Skullwoods is green crystal.
Right.
So Jet making the play back into Hyrule Castle here. He's done the remainder of the castle, just needs to do the sewer area. And Makinx now has his lantern. So...
I'm very curious to see what eLmaGus is going to do next year. Well, other than doing Purple Chest.
Nostrathmus, thank you so much for the sub to Speed Gaming. Super appreciated. So we have eLmaGus, who's going to be dropping off the purple chest here, which we've seen, unfortunately, does not yield anything of significance.
Dark H, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate your support of Speed Gaming.
And eLmaGus heading back into Misery Mire? Nope, Checkerboard Cave. Or no, Desert. Never mind. Okay, all my guesses were wrong.
Hopefully he remembers he can check Checkerboard Cave because they couldn't. No, he could before. You have to have.
He didn't have the mirror.
Right, he didn't have the mirror before, so I was right. Yeah.
So we're getting a hobo check here. What could be behind? Door number 1. Bombs. That is not what you want to see someone building under a bridge. And we're getting eLmaGus, who's heading into the final boss in Desert Palace.
And hopefully maybe he's thinking, okay, I've already... Well, he didn't beat Hera, did he?
eLmaGus, I believe, did not, because he didn't have the access to the other side.
Oh, right. He hasn't even gone into Hera. Right. It was Makinx who won in. Makinx and Jet who both did. Jet's beaten Hera, but Makinx is. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it now. So, everyone's kind of a little bit scattered here.
It's interesting because they're all doing different things.
I'm secretly hoping for double canes in pyramid chests.
Well, one of the canes is in Misery Mire.
Oh, yeah. Not cane. I'm sorry. I meant rods. Double rods.
We're also getting our first Zora check here. And this was something they could access a long time ago as well. Unfortunately, it's just dwindled.
What a life lesson.
So eLmaGus looking like he's going to be completing Misery Mire. Definitely a nice play while you're already here. Why not?
Right. We were kind of skeptical of him doing early Mire. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be totally fine because he had to come back and do Desert anyway.
Yep.
Jet also heading into Mire. Hopefully, we'll be very happy to see that he will find Kane there.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate for Jet that of course, the big chest in Thieves Town has that mirror, and that's going to prevent him from completing Swamp.
Right.
So, and mirror, besides Swamp, really doesn't block off a lot of other things. So the more items that he finds, the farther away from Swamp or the farther away from Thieves Town it's going to lead him. So,
exactly.
Especially finding the Cane of Samaria here, this could potentially lead him to
Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
He doesn't have a fire rod, but you can actually get through a lot of Turtle Rock without the fire rod, depending upon the logic. Fire rod can actually be all the way on Laser Bridge. So
yeah, if there's small keys, you can just kind of use like small key per small key per small key, like just one at a time almost, and you can get all the way back to the Laser Bridge.
Yep. So eLmaGus,
yeah,
making nice work of Vitreous here.
Definitely much better to fight him with the tempered sword and the cape. Before he was here, when he was here earlier, he only had a fighter sword.
Yeah.
So and bombs.
And only 6 of them. Now he's down to 3. Makinx has gone back to Tower of Hera. So could be seeing a double-chested fairy check soon.
So we'll see here soon what's in Checkerboard Cave. eLmaGus is blocked by the deep water.
Just a blue boomerang. Some would say that's the better boomerang.
Because it's less laggy?
Yes.
Ah.
It also stuns, they do different things on different enemies, actually, so depending upon which one you have.
Alright, looks like eLmaGus is going all the way back up to Hera. Hera, for the first time.
Yep.
I'm getting Jet and eLmaGus's, like, they were so similar for so long, and I just was kind of like, oh yeah, they're just following each other, but nope. Everyone's kind of all over the place now.
The interesting thing is, they're all doing things we've seen on each other's screen, just in different orders, and it's based on that order on, you know, in the long run, what you end up getting. How many times you have to come back up. It's not... Oh, unfortunately, eLmaGus is getting the dead rock stuck at the door. Nobody is doing any bad routing. It's just, unfortunately, with Jet's situation, it was the wrong routing.
Yeah.
By not having the hammer by the time he went into Thieves Town, which, you know, it's 1 out of 218 chests. What's the real likelihood of something being in there? It's fairly low. So, and he took that gamble. Unfortunately, it's not paying off for him right now.
I just hope he does remember that there is an item there. I mean...
So again, we're back in Spike Cave and Tower of Hera waiting room.
I like that. That's a good name for it.
So I definitely like the ability to just, you know, take a drink or something there, like sip of water.
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's just a nice moment to just, you know, yeah, take a drink or just kind of mentally look at what you have and make a more concrete plan.
Yep. All right. So we have Jet, who is almost done Vitreous. Makinx, I think it's going to make that double-chested fairy play.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe the bow might be there. We haven't seen any of our runners even approach Pod yet. Even though, yeah, Pod is a crystal.
Yep.
So...
Pod's known for having a party in the back, apparently. As I recently found out. Business in the front, party
Definitely
in the back.
Business in front, party in the back. That's amazing.
So with Makinx and having no portal for from Egg and him having to take the long way around here with the bomb.
Yeah, and we haven't even, I don't think we've even seen a pyramid yet.
Nope. Nor have we seen Catfish.
We've just been so occupied with all of our other dungeons on the left side.
Yeah, speaking of the pod play, looks like we have a pod play coming from Jet at the moment.
It looks like it was just ether.
Yeah, which unfortunately is not a required medallion. So we're starting to see something new on Jet's side here. First time seeing what's in pod. Hopefully this first chest is a key, otherwise he's going to be bow locked. And about 9 times out of 10 it is a key, so... Yep.
Yep.
Makinx also making that play to pod. So I wonder how long it's going to be before Makinx actually goes into Misery Mire.
Yeah.
With it being the almost vanilla cane location.
Almost vanilla. I mean, yeah, I know that I generally try to stay away from Mire just because of how, you know, low or like little the likelihood is of, you know, there's only 2 items there, and generally you just want to hit those big item spots. But I mean, I hope that doesn't, you know, it doesn't deter him for too long.
Yeah, because Turtle Rock has the potential to have some fairly big items sometimes. It depends upon the key situation because, of course, they don't have Fire Rod yet.
Yeah, no bod, no rods. No bod, no bod. No bow, no rods. Oh,
I'm so sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but that was amazing.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Oh my
god. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so no bow. And no rods.
We found the big key in pod though.
Okay.
So we're still looking for anything here that will... Oh, well, there's a fire rod, so...
Awesome.
So still looking for ice rod, flippers, and the bow. But we could also be looking for 10 arrows.
Yeah. I mean, you need it. You kind of rely on those very small, you know, not upgrades per se, but just refills more than you think. I mean, if we didn't get those refills in chests as often as we do, we would be doing a lot more, I think, digging around for stuff, you know, to just beat the game.
So I think at this point, eLmaGus can either go and check Catfish and Zora and all that stuff, or can go to pod. So let's see what he decides to do. But I do feel like Turtle Rock, which is where Jet seems to be going, is the right play at the moment.
Yeah.
Based on the amount of chests that are there, I definitely feel like this is the way to go. Unless Catfish is holding the ice rod. Yeah. In which case, then unfortunately for Jet, again, he'll have to double dip into a dungeon. So besides that, pretty much all the overworld locations that they can check have been checked.
I mean, Turtle Rock holding out on us again.
Yep, and it looks like just 20 rupees from Catfish.
And he's gonna make up his way up to Zora, which we saw unfortunately was another life lesson.
Yep. Swindled by Zoras again. Using the iframes to bypass that Zora there from jumping in the water.
and also flippers. Will be interesting to see where flippers are.
So this item has to be a key. Oh no, because they got fire rod in pod.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Makinx is making the gamble here that I guess I'm sorry if you already said this. That green pendant might have us an item, or we're getting a pedestal check. Oh, uh-oh. Is it gonna be the ice rod? Is it gonna be the flippers?
Oh, okay. Just Coach Cash. Oh, that's disappointing. All right, so we have eLmaGus, who's going to be going into pod, getting their fire ride, which will hopefully, at this point, I don't think he has pretty much checked all the overworld locations before going here. So
I don't remember if we've seen like the ledge north of Graveyard. Did he do all that already? Like all of the Northern Hyrule stuff that isn't...
I know that he's done some of it. The one ledge, I'm not particularly sure. But the remainder of it...
Yeah, like
yes.
King's Tomb, yeah.
King's Tomb, yes. Bonk Rocks, yes. Catfish, yes. And Bumper Cave, yes. The only one I'm not sure about is that Graveyard ledge. So, Makinx making some interesting routing decisions for Skullwoods here.
Looks like he's taking the back way to get to the big chest. He probably picked it up in that chest right before.
I guess he's trying to avoid doing Mothula?
Yeah, maybe he's looking for that second item.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a key. At this point, I mean, you might as well just do Moth. If it's gonna be a green pendant. Yeah,
it looks like he's doing everything he can to avoid it at this point. By going all the way back to the big chest.
Yeah. When instead of doing that on the way back.
Yeah. Because you have to go back anyway, unless you mirror and flute.
Unless you mirror and flute, right.
Depending upon, yeah.
It's just one extra trip. Yeah, just one extra trip, really.
So, while Jet's up here, we'll probably see a check on... Oh, nope, never mind. We cannot see a check on Mimic Cave because he does not have the mirror.
Oh gosh, I keep forgetting that Jet has not. I completely skipped over that. Oh my god.
Man, if there's something in Mimic Cave, that's going to be even worse for him. His Gibdos are giving Makinx a little bit of
trouble, yeah.
You shall not pass. So mushroom, interesting.
Mushroom, okay. We also haven't seen a bat check.
I think somebody has.
Unless someone did it already.
Somebody definitely has done a bat check with the purple chest.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, flippers!
Ooh, flippers at Moth. Wow.
Interesting. And the green pendant as well. See, if he would have just gone to Moth instead of going to the big chest, that would have saved him double the time.
Yeah.
Now, because he definitely doesn't have to really do anything here. You just mirror, go to Sahashala. Man, if Sahashala has either the bow or the ice rod, that'll be fantastic for him.
Yeah, that would be... very interesting. I mean, it's so interesting how much just pure luck, really. Even though like we see that eLmaGus is really making some excellent routing calls here. I mean, Makinx just keeps getting lucky with getting that bottle and then getting the mirror first. That kind of saved him some time, and then again, now just beating Mothula to get the flippers. I mean, that'll definitely save some you know, hunting. Oh, just butter.
Butter sword. That's definitely nice, though. Making pretty much everything in Hyrule just one hit. So Makinx now can head into Swamp Palace. Jet, unfortunately, does not have that option. No mirror and no flippers. So what play are we going to see from Jet? Back in the desert.
Yeah, I guess he's finally doing desert now.
And eLmaGus is going to be grabbing his flipper soon. So it wasn't... unfortunately, Jet going to Turtle Rock didn't pay off for him, but that could just be... You know, it's not a bad play. It's just unfortunately...
It's unfortunate. It's going to be a double dip for him.
Yeah. And we're seeing some very nice fire rods throws from eLmaGus here.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely see that he's on par with his execution.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been doing well, really well. Even Jet's execution's has been really good as well. Just a little unfortunate in the routing.
Yeah. And Mothula down for eLmaGus. That is his.
Ooh, there's
the ice rod.
Ice rod in the beginning, the very first chest of Swamp. So that means you had to beat, you know, Mothula to get the flippers to get to Swamp. I mean, well, you have to get to Swamp anyway because it's a crystal. But wow.
Yep. And that means bow mode for go mode.
Yeah.
So bow mode is
what
mode. We're looking for.
Not bod mode.
not bod mode. Nope. So, interestingly enough, will we see Bow in in Swamp Palace? We could even see Bow in Ice Palace.
Yeah, it could be there as well.
Now that we have the flippers logically unlocked Ice Palace. So, it could also be in Mimic Cave. This is where we start to, you know, besides Pod, which they've already checked pretty much all of, it can pretty much be anywhere. Except for Eastern, which they have also already done almost all of.
Mm-hmm. But
anywhere remaining.
It could be in Swamp as well.
Yep. The Swamp is normally routed a couple different ways. You can either skip the left side, which it looks like Makinx is going to do, and hope that that is just Big Key and map or compass or something.
Yeah, just the dungeon items, right? And then that would require you, after beating Argus, to come back in the dungeon and then check left side if you do need to check those items still. But it is generally a pretty good, you know, gamble to make sometimes.
If you only need one item, I feel like this is the right way to do it. Because if you find the item along the way, then, you know, you don't have to come back.
Mm-hmm. And see, him finding Big Key right there is like, all right, well, I might as well just go right up these stairs out of the way real quick just to get to the Big Key chest. And those stairs are actually a little weird. You have to hold right going up them.
Left.
Or left, excuse me, yeah. Just so, like, Link's animation going up the stairs actually gets out of the stairs. Otherwise, he'll just automatically walk right back down.
So, two more items on the way to Argus, or sorry, one more item on the way to Argus, and then Argus having the second item. Hopefully he finds what he needs in this chest.
Mm-hmm. No.
So far, no dungeon items though, so that's nice for him.
That's actually really good.
So as long as this isn't a map or compass, then he does not have to come back in.
pretty good chance though that it will be. I mean, it's like what, 2-1 right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's actually a really nice quick kill strat that we might see from eLmaGus or Jet, which uses the boots.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if I remember doing it correct, I did it once and got like a chain of 4 puffs once, I think. But yeah, you hold the sword out, you hold down A, and then you need to hook. So, and then you just have to hook over and over again while holding out the sword, and that way you're automatically just pulling the puffs towards the sword over and over again.
So unfortunately, we got the map from Argus. eLmaGus, interestingly, is going... Oh, because he's checking to see... Okay, that's an interesting... Because he only needs 1 item, he was actually going to just see if it was on the way to Argus. That is actually interesting. I haven't seen that before. Oh, unfortunately, he did not get the the required stair leftage that you need to go up the stairs only once. Big chest having the compass.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, eLmaGus did the exact same thing here. Oh, well, he didn't do left side, did he?
Nope.
No, he didn't. Yeah, so he did the exact same thing as Makinx here. I have a bad feeling about left side swamp. I don't think it's gonna have anything.
That could lead to Ice Palace. But
yes.
For eLmaGus, I feel like his next thing would be to go to Turtle Rock. Because it is required. It is a crystal, and he has no idea that so far there's nothing in it. But Mimic Cave, we still don't know what's there. Unfortunately, Makinx not having that Canis Samaria will... Hopefully it will lead him to Misery Mire instead of Ice Palace. Jet really needs to go back into Thieves Town to get his mirror. That's kind of what's holding him back at this point. Even if he gets the item from Skull Woods, which is going to be the flippers, without the mirror, he's still not going to be able to get the Ice Rod, which is going to allow him to complete Turtle Rock.
Really unfortunate for Jet. So yeah, looks like Swamp didn't really have anything on left side there.
Yeah, this unfortunately for Jet, this is going to be really rough for him. He's going to pick up these flippers, and it's going to unlock both Swamp Palace and Ice Palace.
And Ice, and then it's just going to lead him right over there.
Yeah, further and further away from the Thieves Town chest, which is what he needs in order to progress.
And Makinx is going right to Misery Mire, which is good.
I guess he can't even do Swamp, though, luckily, so it's just going to lead him to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he doesn't have a mirror to get to Swamp. You're exactly right.
Yep. So eLmaGus heading up to Turtle Rock, which, like I said, seems like the most logical play considering the items that he has.
Likelihood of Bow being in Ice is slowly creeping up.
Yep. And that could again lead that could lead Jet farther and farther away from that Thieves Town chest. The good thing is he can't go back into Turtle Rock again until he gets that mirror. Because Ice Rod is in Swamp.
Alright, so we have all seen all this. So I guess Jet didn't even make it to Well, he skipped Mimic Cave. He went in. Did he go to Laser Bridge and all that, or did he not?
Did. No, he did the entirety of Laser Bridge and got nothing but maps and heart pieces and rupees.
Oh God.
So
really, but did we count how many items he had? Was there an item at Trinex still?
I believe that Trinex does have an item. I think I saw both map and compass in the dungeon, but I could be mistaken.
So Bo could be here.
Bo could be on Trinex, could also be in Mimic Cave. It's going to be unfortunate if it's in Mimic Cave.
Yes, it will be.
Because that means he's got to go through it. Again, like, Turtle Rock is fast once you're in go mode, but if you still have to go back and check the Mimic Cave, to find that bow. Oh, unfortunately, Jet looks like he's heading Ice Palace.
No. I am curious to see what he'll find there, but also really unfortunate.
Luckily, there isn't too much that he can get that unlocks anything further besides the bow, which only really unlocks Pod, the boss of Pod, because he's done everything else.
Everything else, right. Except for, of course, the chest he skipped, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of really hope that the bow is here and not at Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Because it still would give Jet a little bit of time to find that mirror. And eLmaGus, you know, will be able to complete Turtle Rock, but still be looking for an item. So we'll also make him go to Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
The only unfortunate thing is, in the event that, let's say, the bow is in Ice Palace, let's say it's early, then Jet's going to continue to clear the dungeon because he's still looking for the mirror.
He's still looking, exactly. So, yeah, we won't be seeing a go mode ice here at all.
Got a little stuck on that wall there.
That corner was a little sticky.
Maybe he tried to stick his tongue to the wall. Didn't work out so good.
He got stuck on the ice.
Oh, you need a key. Oh,
you need the key.
There you go.
There you go.
So not gonna do the bomb jump because, of course,
need to be checking right side.
Yeah, when you actually need to check all the chests, there's really no point in doing it.
And real quick, lots of thanks to Godspeed You and Viva Napoleon for the subscriptions to Speed Gaming. We really appreciate your support.
So Makinx now defeating Vitreous. So I believe this should lead him to Turtle Rock as well.
Yes.
So they're not too far away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Jet's only disadvantage is that currently the mirror is at Thieves Town Big Chest, which he has already been and completed. So it'll be probably literally the last thing he will check.
All right, here we go. Mimic Cave hype.
Will it be the bow, or will the bow be...
Or just leave it by...
What? What? What are you doing? Okay, good.
You just...
I guess in case it was right there.
Okay.
Oh, still no bow in Ice Palace. Could be on Cole's there?
Could be.
Oh no! Oh, bow in Mimic Cave!
Oh no, that's awful. I mean, I'm really glad for eLmaGus that he has routed this like a champ, but oh my god. Unbelievable. Alright, eLmaGus is in bow mode. Let's go.
Oh man, that's even more unfortunate for Jet because he's in Ice Palace and unfortunately he's going to find nothing.
Wow, what a location. What a video game.
Well, at least we were right in the fact that Turtle Rock did hold something. It just was in Mimic Cave instead of where we all thought it would be.
It was definitely approximately around that area.
Oh boy. So Jet's gonna go back to defeat Cold Stare.
Mm-hmm.
And then at this point, what hasn't he done?
I mean, there might be a few overworld spots, but for the most part, he's pretty much cleared everything else.
The last chest has the small key.
It's always the last chest, I swear.
No matter which order you check it in, the small key will always be in the last chest.
I know.
So, eLmaGus running around with Tempered Sword, no silver arrows. Butter Sword is at Sahasrah's, which I really doubt he's going to end up checking at this point, considering he's in go mode. Tempered Sword, Tempered Sword, fortunately, is actually really nice to have for the Ganon fight. You can one cycle most of the fight, and then that last part, not too difficult with Tempered. And eLmaGus making really nice work.
Really nice work, yeah. That was a really nice phase 1 there.
And Cold Stare having the last item, unfortunately just bomb upgrade for Jet. So at this point, he's probably really worried.
Yes, that he hasn't found either the bow or the mirror. More probably the mirror.
I wonder if I think he's doing it. I think he's going back into... Where are you going?
Oh, what? No.
Where are you going? Oh no, he probably realized there was another spot that he didn't check. Now he's going there instead.
Jet, help us. Jet, please.
Where are you going? King's Tomb? I thought he checked King's Tomb already. But I could have been mistaken. Nope, he did not.
No, but we know it's not anything. I think it was just,
That murder dactyl has it out for eLmaGus. Oh my god, it's following him all the way across the screen.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I think eLmaGus stole his lunch money or something.
Just bird food.
So eLmaGus heading into the last fight.
He's gonna finish up. Yeah. Finish up Pod here.
Yeah, having a little bit of trouble with that Kana Samaria block.
Mm-hmm.
And Jet making the play. We'll get that mirror.
Oh, come on, Jet.
This is such a long trip for him, too.
I mean, yeah, he's gotta go all the way downstairs. Well, he has to switch and then go all the way downstairs.
Yep. This is not a fun dungeon to come back to this late in the game. And the sword difference between the two it's not like Master Sword versus Tempered Sword. Which,
yeah, or even like Silverless versus Silvers.
Yeah.
It's not really too big of a deal.
So it's gonna come down to execution at this point, because Jet is down 3 dungeons. So something He needs some major luck right now. Oh, yep, there's that mirror. And no frustration slashes. He knows he doesn't have time for that.
Makinx got the bow and is probably just a few minutes behind eLmaGus here.
So he's still looking for Ice Rod. So while he's here, oh man, he's still looking for Ice Rod and bow. Oh man, this is so unfortunate for Jet.
Yes. I really feel for Jet right now.
Well, with eLmaGus picking up that last crystal, we all know what time it is. It's the Ganis Tower Big Key guessing game.
So let's go ahead and start it. Unless someone already started in chat. I don't think so. Is it just GT?
I don't know.
Nope. Is it GT start?
There.
Nope. Oh, it's just start. Thanks, Phylleon.
Yeah.
Shout out to our tracker, Phylleon, for doing an excellent job tracking and also picking up our slack.
and our second tracker, Jeremy, who joined us partway through our race.
And Jeremy as well. Thank you, Jeremy, for hopping in for our three-way race here.
So, where do you think the big key is going to be, Kelsey?
I always guess 18. Depending on the routing, kind of puts it in two different places. If you do right side first, that puts chest number 18 right at Bob. If you do left side first, it is the first chest in the room of 4 that you pick up.
The randomizer room?
Not randomizer room, on the right side. It'll be 18, so it'll be...
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you do left side first, you'll do all those chests, you'll do Ice Armors, and then go to the right side, and it'll be the first chest in that room of 4. Of course, that doesn't take into account whether you do, I don't know, like towel room first.
Darn, that towel room always being a mystery throw-in.
How about you, Sakura? What is your guess?
I actually always guess chest number 7. Which, again, depending upon the routing, puts it in two different locations.
Well, of course, yeah. I think
if you go right side first, it's the torch. And if you go left side first, it is, it puts it in the last chest in the skeleton room. Yeah.
That is true. And I don't know what chest it's going to be if you do Dark Magician route. I have no idea.
Alright, so here we go.
Here we go. One is... Small key.
Small key. And some love.
Right side first. Here we go.
So skipping over the tile room there. So Jet picked up his Ice Rod, still doesn't have the bow.
Does not have the bow, so he'll still probably be doing full clear swamp.
Yep. Just number 3, 4, 5, and Bugnet. Nice! We could potentially see some swag in him, Strats.
Swag in him. Good idea opting to pick up that small key there, just in case.
So
it looks like Makinx, do you see where he's going here? He's actually going up to Helmsor with this direction.
Yeah.
Which is really strange.
Yeah. Well, I don't think maybe he didn't go this way. Well, he didn't go this way, so I don't think he has a key.
Oh, maybe he's lacking a key. Okay.
So I think he needs the small key from these chests, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and they all know where silvers are, so none of them are going to be checking for that. The only thing eLmaGus might check is for the last sword upgrade.
The last sword, but yeah.
He's not going to go out of his way to check it. That's for sure. Or to check chests. Oop. Boomerang. It's not the same as the blue boomerang.
The same. So he's basically got like full item or full menu here.
Yep. Besides Bombos.
Yeah, besides Bombos, true.
So still no. Yeah. We're getting fairly close to your prediction, though.
Yeah, I know. So I guess we passed 7 already.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got the random room and then Bob's chest, and then a couple other places.
Can't wait for that room.
Map. Oh, there it is.
There it is. So that would be 16, I believe. Well, no, maybe.
No, I think that's 16.
16. Yep. Yeah, I had to say 16. Yep. Nice. So I think it's the GT 16. Big key 16. Jeez, I don't know the commands. Falion, thank you. Okay.
What would we do without our wonderful trackers?
Yeah, I mean, also there's a couple other runners who use the big key game as well, and just different commands, so it confuses me. So just hopping back into Swamp, looking at those left side chests.
Unfortunately, it is not going to yield the bow, and that's going to probably frustrate him a little bit more. Knowing the fact that if he had the mirror, he could have gotten the ice rod a long time ago, and then also could have gotten the bow while he was at Turtle Rock. So double dipping both, double dipping a few dungeons.
Quite a few dungeons. I mean, Turtle Rock, Swamp here, just for
Pod, Skullwoods.
Pod, Skullwoods.
Hang on, which one did we not double dip? Tower of Hera? I think that's it.
And maybe Meyer.
Oh yeah, Meyer, yeah. So, considering all that he has done, to still be sitting at 133 with only one crystal left, that is absolutely phenomenal. eLmaGus, by the way, has half magic.
He did kind of double dip Swamp. He went through it and he beat Argus this first time, and then he went back in to check these 2 chests. So it is kind of a double dip. And yes, eLmaGus did double dip Meyer, because he was very low sword upgrade, or he had his only one a fighter sword, and like that was it. And a lamp and the cane. So yeah, fighter sword Vitreous, although doable, is not enjoyable. Yeah, he only had like 8 hearts at the time. It was just completely unreasonable for him to try to beat Vitreous.
Green Mail. And doing a nice job with the magic management as well.
They picked up... when did he pick up half magic? When did that happen?
In Ganon's Tower.
Oh, it was here. Okay. Makinx also doing right side first.
Oh, Jet, unfortunately having to check these mirror locations in the overworld is going to lead him farther away from Mimic Cave.
Mimic Cave, yeah.
At this point, you would think that he has to go to Turtle Rock anyways. You would think that maybe he would go in there, especially because Trinex does have an item. But I think at this point he's probably a little bit frustrated. So he's hoping that it's along the way so that he can go mode the remainder of the stuff and doesn't have to make the trip up Death Mountain twice. So it looks like we're not getting any swag in him here. I think that might have been a triple, could have been a double, depending upon how many of those balls hit at once. Wow!
Wow, what an Aghanim.
Wow, what an Aghanim fight. That's phenomenal.
That was amazing. The double triple. Woo!
Yep. Fantastic Aghanim fight for eLmaGus. So we have eLmaGus heading into the Ganon fight. Jet, who's currently looking... Oh, there's Bombos.
Yeah. So, looks like all of our runners will be doing the Silverless. I did see a few questions about Silverless. It is part of the logic, so if you happen to be playing this game and were just completely following the logic, you would have had to be Aghanim 1 to get the Silvers from Lumberjack Cave. But our runners here do know how to do Silverless Ganon, which is just a matter of hitting Ganon in phase 4.
Yes.
Phase 4 on the right frame, I guess, or it's just right after he starts to teleport, really, and then that way he won't freeze into the blue position, which is then when you would usually hit him with the silver arrow. But since you can hit him right as he teleports, you're still doing damage. The only difference here is that instead of doing 4 silver arrows, you have to do 12 spins to hit him. You cannot just slash him, you do have to do spin attacks every time. And you'll see it right now.
Yep. So when he goes lighter color for a second, unfortunately eLmaGus hitting it a little bit too early, but when he goes lighter there, you can actually hit him on a frame just before he teleports. And that's how you do Silverless. Move out of the way in the back.
Yeah. It's all in rhythm, really. Once you people kind of get nervous about doing it for the first time, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, and with half magic and with eLmaGus getting the torch glitch, it's going to be a fairly simple fight. And for those of you who are new to the Link to the Patch, torch glitch is basically where when the first torch goes out, if you light it immediately after it goes out before the second torch goes out, you'll get a state where only the left side can go out.
And GG to eLmaGus.
Yep, GG to eLmaGus, winning the tiebreaker match, being the one to move on to the next stage of the brackets. Congratulations to him, finishing with a first place time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 17 seconds. That is a phenomenal Ganon fight, phenomenal routing on his part.
It was very impressive gameplay from eLmaGus.
Makinx, also in Ganon's tower, is going to be not too far behind.
And Makinx actually intentionally fell off the edge there, so he could get the iframes to just run right through those walls.
So we're asking if eLmaGus can come in for an interview. So we'll give him some time to calm down. Man, that's gotta be frustrating to know that the bow was here, and depending upon, like I said before, it's a 1 in 218 chance that chest had the mirror. So it's just unfortunate. He made the right call, but unfortunately in this instance, it did not work out for him.
Makinx making his way up Ganon's gauntlet. Just a few minutes more here for him.
So, and with already clearing Laser Bridge, Jet just needs to go straight to Trinex here. A nice cane dash.
Mm-hmm.
So with Gold Sword, this fight is really quick. I think Jet even might have gotten the one cycle here. Yep. One cycle Trinex. Very nicely done. So if he can get this part here. And very nicely done. Perfect Trinex fight. Makinx isn't going to be checking any of these chests. We all know where Silver's are, which is currently at the Lumberjack Cave. So, and he's already got upgraded sword and
half magic and you know, the best male. I mean, yeah, he's good to go.
There is no need to check any chests along the way.
And it's really impressive that for our runners that like they've checked so many locations and how quickly they've done it. I mean, I'm always impressed by the level of gameplay here.
All right, and Jet is now headed into his last dungeon, and very nicely done so far for Makinx.
There it is!
And a double triple again! Look at this! Phenomenal from both these runners so far, getting the double triple.
Awesome. That was just really, that was a treat to see again, truly.
So congratulations, eLmaGus. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Thanks. Hi!
So how are you feeling?
I'm done. I was so nervous.
Yeah, I bet your heart was racing the entire time. I mean, that was quite a race to watch.
Yeah, I feel like I did pretty well.
Yeah,
like I was feeling good about what I did, like the whole seed, but still, I was like, what if they made it slightly better? What if they did? The constantly in my head was like, there's like minor things I could have done better, and like, what if they did that? And fortunately, they probably didn't. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, your opponent Makinx is actually in the Ganon fight right now.
Yeah.
So not too far behind. Jet unfortunately had an unfortunate situation where he went into Thieves Town without the hammer, and that was where the mirror was in the big chest. So
yeah, I was really happy when I got the hammer. But I was going into Thieves Town, and then Sick Kid had it, and I was like, all right, cool. Don't have to worry about it. And then the mirror, I was like, yes, this is a big advantage if they just did Thieves Town. That was like where I felt really good. But yeah. It's unfortunate that Jet skipped over it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking so hard for so long, really. But yeah, actually, Makinx actually was the first to get the mirror out of all three of you. He happened to go to Meyer's Shed first before anyone, and then picked up his first bottle there. So.
Yeah, that's what I thought about. I thought about going to Meyer's Shed, but because we got the flute and the mitts immediately and all that, and it was just like they want us to go there. They want us to go there, but I was kind of holding out a little bit, which I think ultimately was a good thing. I don't know. It's hard to say now.
Yeah, honestly, you did phenomenal in your routing in this seed. It was very, very, very well done.
Thank you.
And execution as well. Is definitely a phenomenal race to watch, a phenomenal race to commentate for. So we have Makinx. Congratulations to Makinx for finishing with the second place time of 1 hour 44 minutes and 53 seconds. So We have our second runner to be completed.
Mm-hmm. Was a very exciting race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely a few moments where we're just like, oh wow, there's the bow, there's the mirror. Like we definitely enjoyed watching everything unfold.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So is there any moments in the seed where you just you reflect back on and you're like, oh man, what are your thoughts on the seed?
I mean, this was actually kind of a convoluted seed in the grand scheme of things. Like a lot of like spread out items everywhere. You had to basically also, which is kind of funny, you had to choose either double dip pod for the fire rod, or double dip T-Rock. You could have actually gotten the bow right before pod if you just go into T-Rock without the fire rod. That's kind of funny, I feel. But yeah. Stuff like that, it's really hard to say when a seed is like this. I mean, I obviously did relatively well with the routing, but like my routing could have also been bad for this kind of seed if the items are in slightly different locations, you know? So, yep. I don't know. It's tough to say. I'm glad that it worked out for me, obviously, but yeah, it's not much else to say, really.
Mm-hmm. And
so, Jet just finished his last crystal and is now heading up towards Ganon Tower. And I believe that there is another race on this channel coming up fairly soon. In 10 minutes, actually.
10 minutes, yes.
So yeah, it was definitely, like I said, great routing, great execution.
Mm-hmm. Hope you are excited and ready for the bracket stage.
Are you nervous?
No. I was only really nervous because this is a race against two people at the same time. Yeah. Which is really scary because, like, if you race one-on-one, like, you can study your opponents, you can see, okay, he tends to route this way, so I can kind of adjust my own routing a little bit. But against two people, it's really hard to do that. Like, you can't just, like, you know, copy a route of somebody that you think I might execute better than them. You can just copy them or do something different. You can't do that against two people. That was really, really scary. Really scary. And Makinx and Jet both have pretty different playstyles, I would say. So that's probably where the nervousness came from. Now, going into the bracket stage, I've made it further than I would have thought I would. So yeah. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, whoever is going to face me, I'm going to be happy about it. I don't really get nervous anymore, I think, at this point.
Wow, that's awesome. I feel like I would just be completely falling apart
at
this point of the competition. That's amazing. Well, definitely GG's to eLmaGus. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to watching more of your races. So.
Thank you.
It'll be pretty phenomenal. So we have some more tiebreakers coming up today on Tiebreaker Saturday. We have of course we have the tiebreaker, the next one coming up, as well as the three-way, which is later on in the day as well. So we have Sigard versus JSR coming up, and then Mike the V versus Zero Rush versus Wolfie. Both of them are going to be on Speed Gaming, so
quite the full day of Randomizer.
Yeah.
Brackets start next week. This is wrapping up the group stages here.
Oop. Jet, unfortunately, not getting the bomb in the right spot. There we go. So yeah, this is definitely, like I said, it was an interesting seed. Kind of laid you on a little bit of a wild goose chase around the place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think about the Titan's mitts and the glove positions?
I was really, really irritated. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the power glove through boots, and then I'm like, oh, what? Another glove? What is this? Hello?
I was laughing pretty hard at that.
That was actually pretty scary though, because that meant when I saw the power glove, I thought, okay, boots are early. But then when I got the other glove, I was like, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean boots are early anymore. So like, it's kind of weird. I already had kind of like made up a route in my mind, which I still followed and was still correct, which is crazy. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is lucky that the boots just happened to be in Eastern.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do like any crazy Dark World dungeons or anything, or waiting quite a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, gotta love it when boots are early.
But also can kind of come back and get you. Early boots make me nervous.
There's that half magic that.
There it is.
Earlier. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I totally missed that somehow. But yeah.
Yeah, so we have brackets coming up. For those of you who are new to the tournament, the brackets are going to be a best of 3. Once you are eliminated from the brackets, you are eliminated from the tournament. So it's going to be a very interesting showdown.
Our Sweet 16. We started with a great group of 100. And then we had, group stages still had No, there were 60, how many people in groups?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
But there's like 5 people per group, and groups go all the way down to letter H. And then, so you can do that math. And then, but yeah, our last 16 people, the survivors, truly. 40 in group stages. There we go. Thanks, Philion, again.
That boomerang went right off the screen. Did you? What just happened with that? It literally just disappeared.
No, I totally missed it. I was looking at the at the challenge.
All right. So it looks like we are going to be beginning our next race here. So we are going to be wrapping up and handing it over to our next phenomenal commentators. We're going to be passing it off to Tear and Hiei, who will be commentating the next race, which is Sigard versus JSR. So thank you guys again so much for watching this race. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the day, because we have another race after that on Tiebreaker Saturday. So I am Sakura Tsubasa.
And I'm Kelpsy, and it has been a pleasure.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.
Thanks, everyone.